Damn, we're already almost at our level. Jesus. Hi guys.
Is it starting?
Yeah, it started. We are live. How's it going, everybody?
Hi.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are going to be going over UBA Season 5.
Yay.
To give you guys some details and go over the teams and all that good stuff. I'm going to be doing live roundups throughout the season, for the record, just, you know, obviously, as you guys can see. What were you going to say?
Sorry, just a live edit thing, right?
Yeah.
I said yay for a reason. It's because it's for a sound check. I'm slightly louder than you are.
Of course. Audio issues.
I'm ever so slightly louder than you are, but I want to make sure that it's captured and stuff. Okay.
I lowered you about 20%. We'll see if that's good.
Hey, don't restrict me.
0. How about 0 then?
No.
Should sound better.
I think you could do another 5 or 10% though,
5%?
actually.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Let's do 10 and go from there.
Breaker, breaker, booty shaker.
Hey, what's up, Toasty?
Yep, it's perfect.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so let's get the details for this season out of the way so we can get right into talking about the teams. This is going to be a fun season. We got some interesting matchups and stuff, but the season starts the first Saturday, or the last weekend of the month. So July 26th, 27th is when the season starts. Every week that is going to be the season, we are going to have a team that's on a bye week. It's the only way I can make 7 people work, you know, in a way that just made sense. What's up, other Carlos? The Carloses are here. So yeah, July 26th, 27th, that weekend is when the season starts. The Forza Warriors, this guy right here is going to have a bye week the first first week of the season. We'll talk about some of the matchups and kind of our predictions and stuff at the end of the stream, but we're gonna go over the teams first. And this is the reason I like doing the live stream though. I kind of prefer it, less editing, first of all, which is great. Second, obviously, we can have more of a free-flowing conversation. We can get chat involved. We can talk amongst ourselves and all that good stuff. And for those of you who follow the UBA, I am now the commissioner too. That's why I said I'm the one who built the schedule. So, yeah, I can give you guys some insight on some things. But with all that being said, July 26th, 27th, like I said, again, I can't stress that enough, is when the season starts. So keep an eye out for that. Check out all the links in the description. All the coaches are down there. Go check them all out so you do not miss a single match. You guys want to watch these matches. UBA matches have been pretty good these last couple seasons, especially. With all that being said, let's get into it. Let's get into our first team here. We're going in reverse order of the draft, which means we are starting with PidgeGaming. So, Pidge's team consists of, if I can find it, Iron Bundle, Iron Boulder, Alola Ninetales, Bastiodon, Hisuian Goodra, Ribombee, Go-Go, Ceruledge, Hisuian Lilligant, and Palisade. Oh, an interesting team, to say the least. That is, I mean, we got some picks in there that you probably would never see in any other format, competitive format. Talking Bastiodon. I feel like you probably see a Hisuian Goodra somewhere. Ceruledge, I feel like isn't seen too often. But the two irons, I mean, they're good. They're good Paradox Pokemon. Iron Bundle, Iron Boulder. This is an interesting team. It's pretty offensive. You got some bulk in there for sure, but I think this is a pretty offensive leaning team. It's a very Pidge team. I feel like Pidge just likes his niche picks, his picks that nobody else would ever take in a million years. I feel like I like it. I like a lot of the picks in here. I think it's a fun team. You know, it's not meta, I guess, in a lot of ways, but it's a fun team regardless. Like I said, pretty offensive. Would you agree? Like, you think it's a little more offensive than bulky?
I think it's a little bit more offensive than what Pidge is normally used to playing.
Yeah.
Pidge is known for bringing, I don't want to say misfits, but Pokemon, but Pokemon that typically people don't bat an eye towards.
Yeah.
you'll see Pidge taking them.
Yeah.
I think that Pidge has. I think definitely Pidge has a more offensive team this go around than he normally does, but there's still a good amount of bulk in Palisand.
I agree.
Good amount of bulk in Hisui and Gudra. And then you have your offensive threats like both the Irons and the Hilligant and the Ceruledge. You know, I think it's gonna be a interesting team to dance around with. You know?
Yeah, I think he's got good pivots. I will say that. I think he's got great pivots. I think Bastiodon's decent. I know it's got a couple quad weaknesses, but its bulk is pretty gnarly. Its defenses are really good. Like you mentioned, Hisui and Gudra. This team, I feel like he can do a lot of work. It's not an easy team to work around. He's got quite a bit of balance in there. We have both talked about taking Iron Bundle and Iron Boulder at one point or another, or at least considered it.
Mm-hmm.
The main issue we saw with Bundle, and I'm only gonna say because I'm sure Pidge sees it too, is its move pool. Its move pool for Iron Bundle, it's terrible. It's got like 3 types.
It's deplorable.
Yeah, its special moves are not great. Boulder though, fantastic pick. I think that's my favorite pick on his team. Boulder's actually decent. It's got quite a few weaknesses, but it's a great offensive Pokemon. It's got a lot of power. I think that might be his ace this season. I think his underrated pick is definitely gonna be Bastiodon. I think that's gonna be or Palisand, one of the two. But I think those two are definitely gonna be his underrated ones. His ones that might do more damage than people think. But I think Boulder will end up being his MVP this season. What do you think?
I think Hilligant might surprise us. I think Hilligant and maybe even that Ceruledge. We all know that Go-Goat is Pidge's little flagship Pokemon.
Yep.
I just going based off of experience, because you know we all have our flagship Pokemon. I think that I don't expect his flagship Pokemon to perform up to par. The way we all like feel like it would. Like for example, Solgaleo and stuff was not my MVP last season. I think I had him right.
Yeah.
It was my personal MVP was a leopard, and I didn't even like the leopard. We all know that Pidge loves his Go-Goat, and it's a great Pokemon. I think it's very good offensively, but I think that the Pokemon that will surprise us a lot is going to be that Hilligant. I got my eye on that Hilligant. I like that pick. That's my favorite pick.
Yeah, that's
because no one thinks about choosing the Lilligant, right?
No.
Also in the chat, hello Hobo. Real quick, I did think of something for those, because I see some new people here in the chat too and whatnot. I was thinking if we do a very, very brief, quick overview of the draft league rules.
Oh, yeah.
For those who don't know what the UBA is.
Good point. So we're gonna move on after this. That's Pidge. Like we mentioned, I think one more note. I think his team on paper is kind of frail, but it's one of those where like if you don't take it seriously, you're gonna get hit in the face. I feel like you'll go down pretty quick. So it's not a team you can write off. Like a lot of those Pokemon, yes, they have multiple weaknesses, quad weaknesses, whatever, but like it's a team where you still like you can't go into it thinking, you know, I can run through it or anything like that. So I think Pidge stands a great chance. It's going to be a fun season for him. But like Alberto mentioned, for those of you who might not be familiar with what we're talking about here, we are in a draft league, a Pokemon draft league called the UBA, the United Battle Association. Nobody calls it that. It's the UBA. To go over the rules, it's pretty basic. We do single battles, singles, no items, to keep it very basic. And our drafts, well, this season specifically is 10 Pokemon that we can all draft. Normally it's 9, but we were trying 10 this season to see how it goes. We can draft 2 restricted Pokemon. So the restricteds are legendaries, mythicals, paradox. There's no Ultra Beast, so Ultra Beast would be included in that category. But you can only draft 2, so you can draft a Solgaleo and a Dialga, but you can't draft a Mew on top of that. And you can only take 2, but we can draft a pseudo-legendary. Each team is allowed 1 pseudo-legendary. If you choose to take all 3, so you take, like I mentioned, as an example, Solgaleo, Dialga, and you choose to take Gudra, you can only take 2 of those per battle. So you can take Dialga and Gudra, or Gudra and Solgaleo, or Solgaleo and Dialga. You cannot take all 3. Hence why we're doing 10. It's just to add a little more variety in the matches. We're also not allowed fuse legends or alternate form legends like the masked ogre pawns. We got stellar Terapagos. Cordon, Miradon, and Arceus are all banned as well from this league because they're OP.
They're not.
Nothing's OP to this guy. You guys learn quick. We also banned Last Respects and Revival Blessing. I think maybe Last Respects, I was actually thinking about that, might need a review.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the Last Respects review.
We might need a review on that. But for now, Last Respects and Revival Blessing are banned. Unless you go for Metronome and you get it. You know, the chances of you getting is insane. So, fair enough. Hi, Jaden. We can gen Pokemon in to help with time constraints. And every single Pokemon you draft needs to be used throughout the regular season. That is one of the big things. You have to make sure you use all 10 of your Pokemon before the regular season ends. So you got... This season, you have 6 matches to try and bring all 10. So I feel like that's a reasonable amount of time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The main thing being single battle, no items. It's a simple, fun draft league to me. Like it's always been a fun format. And yeah, did I miss anything?
No, that's pretty much the bread and butter of everything.
All right, cool. All right, then let's get into.
So
go
we covered Pidge.
Yeah, let's get into the next one. We got Nate, No Sad Nate, whose team was drafted by AI. So Nate's little gimmick, he's gonna be he drafted his team with AI, and he's gonna use AI to pick his team start the season. He's gonna build them. He said he's gonna build them and still do like the moves, sets, all that stuff. But he's gonna let AI pick his teams for every match. So it's gonna be interesting. I have him week 1, so that's gonna make things fun. But his team consists of the AI drafted: Dragonite, Gengar, Latios, Lunala, Hisuian Arcanine, Corviknight, Rotom Wash, Mimikyu, and Amoonguss and Weavile. Not a bad team. Not a bad team. That is not a bad team. I think he lacks a little bit of bulk, but it's not bad. A pretty offensive team, much like Pidge's. I kind of equate this a little bit more to Pidge's. I think Pidge has a little more firepower in my opinion, but I think Nate's team's leans a little more towards balance between offense and defense. I think he's got some Pokemon that are definitely capable of hitting and taking. Kind of an annoying team too. You got Mimikyu and Amoonguss in there, a couple annoying Pokemon. Lunala is a Pokemon I have not seen since EBL season 2 or season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was season 2. Like, holy, I've not seen Lunala. We've seen Solgaleo a couple times. We have not seen Lunala in forever. So that is going to be an interesting pick. Latios, I think, though, is going to be the one to watch in terms of his restricteds. I feel like we know what Dragonite can do. We know what Lunala can do. It's not bad. I just personally, it's not a bad Pokemon. It's not. He's got 2 Pokemon that have multi-scale. He's got one with Disguise. He's got a Pokemon with Spore. This is going to be an annoying team. This is going to be a very annoying team to go against. But I think he's got a good amount of... This is not a bad team. Like, it's not. I think it's going to be an interesting team to go against. He's got good bulk. He's got good offense. Like, it's just going to depend on how Nate plays. If we see, you know, the improved version of Nate that we saw, I think, back in season 2, like, this could be a dangerous team. I'm not... It's not bad. What do you think? What do you think about his team?
I think... All right. Hold on. We're gonna backtrack right here because I think everyone has a Pokemon that we fumble. Okay.
This is
EBL season 1 was my Dragapult. No, I lied. Rayquaza.
Okay. That poor thing.
EBL season 1 was Rayquaza. Give me a quick second while I just tell my brother that I am streaming. Give me 1 second.
For me, EBL season 5 was Porygon. EBL season 4 was Aerodactyl.
Okay, sorry. All right, so I feel like we should go back just a quick little tit and talk about a Pokemon that we're gonna fumble, right? Because we all have that. I think, going back to Pidge, I think that he is going to fumble Ribombee.
I can see it. Ribombee's an interesting Pokemon to use. I can see it.
I can see that he's going to fumble Ribombee. Lately, Pidge has had a little bit of a thing with entry hazards to see how he has maneuvered that this season.
Yeah.
But now that we're on that topic and we're talking about teams, I like I like Nate's team a lot. I think he has a fair amount of bulk. I mean, because let's look at it. You know, we got an HP tank ish in Rotom Wash. Got a defensive tank in Corviknight, and then you have Amoonguss, which I think is also a special tank ish. I gotta check its stat. Ish. Yeah, this is on the ish. But then you have Dragonite with multi-scale, which can be bulky if you do it right. I mean, Dragon Dance, E-Speed, Terra Normal, and all that strap, that's horrifying. Lunala's an interesting pick. I think that...
It's got multi-scale as well. More like the ability's basically multi-scale.
Yeah, the Shadow Shield thing.
Yeah.
I think that he's going to rely heavily on his Arcanine this season. And he's not going to be able to use Mimikyu as well. And I think his underrated pick is going to be Latios.
I agree. I think Latios is going to be the underrated one, a dark horse for his team. I was thinking Mimikyu or Amoonguss as his potential fumble Pokemon, because they're not... Mimikyu is an easy Pokemon to use, but you can easily mess it up. Like, just as easy as you can use it, you can easily mess it up.
Yeah, that's why I think Mimikyu is going to be his Fumblemon.
Yeah, but
Hisuian Arcanine is going to be his crutch, I feel.
I agree. Amoonguss is one that you can fumble it if you don't use it right. We also haven't seen Amoonguss since I think EBL season 2.
EBL,
yeah, something like that. So it's a Pokemon. We'll see how he uses. I think Weavile could potentially be a good offensive threat for him. Like
the thing with Weavile,
so
it's stupid frail, and a lot of people this season I feel have drafted. If you haven't drafted a fighting type, you've drafted something with fighting type moves.
Yeah.
And I think that Weavile is going to be a little outmatched, and I don't think that it's going to. I don't think it's not going to serve him well, and it's not because of his skill or anything. It's just literally because Ice and Dark sucks defensively.
Great offensive, terrible defensive.
Oh yeah.
But
it's a great mon. We know what it does.
I think MVP candidate for him. I'm gonna throw out that Dragonite. I feel
when isn't never.
I mean, yeah. It can, like you mentioned, drag dance type setup. Like, it is a scary Pokemon when it wants to be. When you have it right and you do what you need to do with it, it is a scary Pokemon. Very freaking scary. So, obviously, people know counters at this point. We've seen Dragonite a few times. Pokemon like Dragonite a few times now in the UBA, not even counting the EBL. So I think that's one that I agree. His normal Pokemon he'll rely on. I could see Arcanine for sure. But yeah, I think Nate's got a great balance. The AI did him good. Like, this is not a bad team at all. I think Nate can do some good damage. We'll see how everything turns out. You got any final thoughts on our boy here?
No, not at all.
All right, let's move on to next up. We have JakeyXYZ, the Snowdonian Frosmoths. Jakey took this is a fun team. Jakey took Fluttermane, Sceptile, crazy, Gouging Fire, Tyranitar, Sneasler, Torterra, Milotic, Hisuian Electrode, Frosmoth, and Talonflame. A pretty wild team. I mean, I know he mentioned in the chat a few times in our Discord, he got sniped like 3 or 4 times. So this is obviously not the team he wanted, and he's just kind of had to deal with it. Taking Sceptile as a number 2 pick is actually insane, because I would save that for last. Nobody was gonna take Sceptile. Nobody's taken Sceptile, I think, since I want to say like UBA season or EBL season 4. I think Alan took it. That's the only time I've seen Sceptile. Sceptile is such an interesting Pokemon because it's not bad. Its move pool is just not amazing. It's gotten better over time. It definitely has gotten better over time because it used to be terrible in terms of moves. It's still not incredible, but it's definitely not as bad as it was. But taking it second overall is pretty crazy. But regardless, his picks, I mean, this is an extremely offensive team to me. It kind of reminds me of his team last season, where he has a couple that are mildly bulky, decently bulky, like Milotic. But for the most part, I feel like this is an extremely offensive team. Very Jakey. Very Jakey. He loves his offensive Pokemon. He loves his Fluttermane. This is it's much like last season where this is a scary team. We saw what Tyranitar could do last season. We know what Jakey could do with Fluttermane. Nothing new there. And Gouging Fire, that's going to be fun to see. It's his first season in UBA. So we'll see how it does. But the rest of his team, I mean, very interesting to say the least. I think he can do a lot of work. He's got some utility in there. He's got a little bit of bulk, nothing too crazy, but a lot of firepower. I mean, his Fluttermane is going to be his go-to. It's always been every time he takes it. So I think that's going to be his go-to, but I think it's not a bad team though. I like the offensive power. I like the offensive picks. We see some new Pokemon in here, some new faces. What do you think about the Frosmoths here?
I think that this, like you said, it's a very offensive team, but I feel because of the lack of bulk or sufficient lack of bulk, it could be outmuscled.
Yeah.
Because typically you don't really run a T-Tar defensively, and I think that it has pretty good or a decent. I think it has decent defensive stats and an okay HP stat. I don't have that in front of me, so I don't know. But
you want the stats?
Yeah, tell me what we got.
HP 100 base, defense 110, special defense 100 base.
So, never mind. I lied.
Decent bulk.
Never mind. Tyranitar has decent bulk. The typing does not save it.
Well,
though.
Not to mention though, the Sandstream does give it also a Spadef boost.
A special boost, of course. All right, never mind. I take it back. I'll take it back. But still very offensive. Yeah. Now, going on with the theme that we've been doing so far, in my opinion, I think that Talonflame is going to play a pivotal role for him.
Yeah.
Because I can see a Gale Wings Tailwind coming along, like 5 billion miles away. My favorite pick, and I mentioned this to him too, my favorite pick is his Tyranitar.
Yeah.
I love T-Tar.
Yeah.
T-Tar is probably going to be his ace. And I think underrated, I think his Frosmoth could be his underrated one.
We saw what he could do with it when he had it in the EBL. I know a different game, but it did well when he had it. Caused you problems. Yeah. I remember that match. You know, it's a good pick. I like the Electrode. I'm not gonna lie. I'm curious what he's gonna do with that thing. That's gonna be my underrated pick for him because I just want to know what he does with it because it's a Electrode speed is insane. Like it's gonna outspeed everything. That could be a good utility. You know, you got potentially a free Thunder Wave. You got a lot to work with Electrode in terms of the utility. Well, maybe not a lot, but you got a decent amount of stuff you can work with. Screen, it gets Light Screen, Thunder Wave, taunt. Like you have a few things you can work with. Not trying to give him too many ideas, but it's not bad. I think that for me, that's gonna be my underrated pick for his team. I think Electrode could do a lot of work for him. I think one of his go-tos though, much like Garganacl was, screw that thing, much like Garganacl was last season, I think Milotic might be one of his go-tos, like his main pivots, his kind of get out of jail free, not free, but like kind of one of his get out of jail free cards, one of his go-tos to try and weather a storm. MVP candidate, I mean, I agree, I'm throwing that T-Tar in there. In that mix, we saw what it could do last season, and it was solid. It's not bad. Yeah. And now with Terra's, like it becomes even better because you mentioned the typing, but he can Terra, so that it's out the window. Like he can do whatever he wants with it. So I'm gonna throw Tyranitar in the MVP conversation. I think Milotic's gonna be his underrated or his like low key MVP, and then I'm gonna pick Electrode as his underrated pick.
Who do you think you know what, I changed my mind. I'm gonna give my underrated pick to the Sceptile.
We'll see.
You never know.
We'll see.
You never know.
An offensive mind like Jakey, I mean,
yeah, you never know. Jakey has proven time and time again that man got cojones when it comes to battles.
He does.
That man's not afraid to do things, and who knows, he might be the best subtile user that we've seen. So
we've only seen one.
I'm not knocking the subtile.
It does get Dragon Dance, so it's not. It's not bad, obviously. That's fair. Subtile, that's a decent. Yeah, that's a decent one. We got any final thoughts on Jakey here before we move on?
No.
All right. Let's move on to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr.Toast and the Redwood Rillabooms. Interesting team. So, Mr. Toasty here took Rillaboom, Skeledirge, Zacian, Walking Wake, Greninja, Mudsdale, Metagross, Empoleon, Blaziken, and Ludicolo. A lot of water types, but no Drizzle, which is interesting. Yeah, he took what? Walking Wake, Greninja, Empoleon, and Ludicolo. We got 4 water types on this team. It's not bad. I think it leans a little more towards bulk than it does offensive. He has offensive power in there. Rillaboom, Zacian, Walking Wake. He's got offensive. I think it's a decent balanced team, but I do think it leans a little more towards bulk. Metagross, I think, is going to be an interesting Pokemon to see on his team. We have not seen Metagross, I think, at all. Even in the EBL? I don't think so, right?
No, meta.
Oh, okay. So we saw it once. But I think otherwise, I don't think we've seen it. We just don't have a huge, we don't have a lot of matches to go off of with the Metagross. So I think that could be a really good pick for him if he uses it right. Everything else is, it's a good team. I just think there's a couple glaring type things that he'll have to work around, but it's not bad. For him drafting it kind of off the cuff when we talked about his team, he kind of just listed off Pokemon, and honestly, it's not bad. I think it's got decent bulk, decent offensive power. It's more than capable of putting up a really good fight against anybody. What do you think about Carlos' team?
I think it's a hard team to break, despite the number of water types that are there, because you have Pokemon like Rillaboom. You have Pokemon like Rillaboom and Walking Wake and Zacian that put incredible offensive pressure.
Yeah,
the Rillaboom is above average, but it's not on the league of obviously a Zacian or a Walking Wake, but it still puts a lot of pressure because of how versatile that monkey is, right?
Yeah.
And then we have a physical powerhouse in Metagross, who is not too shabby on the special side either, right? And then you have Greninja, who can take opponents off guard. I think if Carlos plays his team well, this again, my opinion, despite the number of water types that are here, is a team that could be potentially hard to break.
I agree. I think this team, it's not an easy team to get around. You guys think about a lot of things.
His MVP is definitely going to be the Rillaboom. He leans on it a lot. He leans on it a lot. I think that the Pokemon that is going to save him out of sticky situations is going to be the Zacian.
Yeah. And
honestly, underrated is probably that Ludicolo.
You hate saying that, don't you?
I hate that thing.
That's not a bad pick for underrated. I think definitely Rillaboom's gonna be his MVP. That's the one he's on this team. It's the one he's had multiple times. He's comfortable with that thing. He's had a few of these Pokemon before, but Rillaboom definitely is gonna be his go-to. He's comfortable with it, familiar with it. That's I agree. That's gonna be his go-to. Underrated. He definitely took that Mudsdale because it was a trauma pick. He thanks Pidge for that. But I think he could use it well. Mudsdale is not an easy Pokemon to get around. You definitely have to plan for it. It's just one of those Pokemon you can't put in the back of your mind. You have to plan around it. You have to, well, not around it, but you have to be aware of what it can do, and it's you can't let it get going. So I think if he uses Mudsdale well, that could definitely be a big underrated pick for him. Or the Walking Wake. Walking Wake's not a bad Pokemon. It didn't do a whole lot last season. Sorry, Max. But it's not a bad Pokemon at all. But I'm gonna go with Mudsdale for his underrated. MVP will be Rillaboom. The pick I like the most, it's probably the Metagross. We just haven't seen it. I like Metagross. I like the pick. We were talking about his pseudo and he was just like Metagross. Like it was like an automatic thing once he learned what our pseudos were gonna be. Well, you didn't end up taking one, but I took one. And once he learned that, like he was like, okay, Metagross. It was like an automatic bang. I want that. So I think he could do. I think he can do some good stuff this season. I'm very curious to see what his what Carlos is capable of. You got any final thoughts on the Redwood Rillabooms?
No, I don't.
All right, we could skip the next guy. It is the Forza Warriors. LionheartPlays.
It's my team, y'all.
Here we go. We're getting to one of us finally. So Humberto took a Dark and Ancient Dragon, a Dead and Angry Monkey, a Grass and Poison Toad. I'm trying to remember everything. He took Roaring Moon, Annihilate, Venusaur, Incineroar, Volcarona, Gliscor, Goldango, Kyogre, Sableye, and it was Hisuian Braviary, right? What was the last one?
Yeah.
Hisuian Braviary. My one will be in 100. You're funny. Hey, we'll see, Carlos. We'll see. This is a fun team.
Do you like it?
This is a fun team. It's a little.
I want to
meta.
hear your thoughts.
It's a little meta.
Is it?
A little bit. I think
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
Particularly the first two picks, Annihilate and Roaring Moon. I mean, maybe OG Scarlet and Violet meta. But
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
Regulation H.
Yeah. It is. It's a team where you have a couple Pokemon that are just hi Jacob, a couple Pokemon who are a little annoying. You know, you got Sableye, little imp.
Wow.
That's what it is.
Now I know what to name him. I'm gonna name him Tyrion. Anyway.
Sableye, Incineroar is obviously we have seen Incineroar I think once in the UBA. I think maybe twice overall going back to the EBL. I think Landon took him once. So that's gonna be fun to see Incineroar again in more, sorry to the previous owners, in more capable hands. Wow. Sorry, I mean but the biggest thing that was kind of a shocker to me too was the Kyogre. Kind of came out of left field. Nobody took it. It went in round 8. It went in round 8. Nobody took it.
No one took the Gen 3 Legends.
No one. Oh yeah, none of them up until that point. Yeah, the other two didn't go either. Which is insane to me because they're fantastic. But beside the point.
Kyogre's, I mean, Rayquaza's whatever.
Yeah. Beside the point, Kyogre, he kind of just fell into your lap, I feel like. Which it was like perfect. Steel Terra Sableye, potentially. We don't know what this guy's got in his back pocket.
I got tricks.
So I think this team's got good. It's balanced. I mean, I think it's a lot of balance in there. It's got good bulk, good offensive power. And then we're not even talking about Volcarona. Like Volcarona is a Pokemon much like we talked about the last a Pokemon you just cannot ignore. Like you have to have something for it. He's got a lot working here. A lot of utility. A lot of bulk, a lot of offensive power. I think it's a fantastic team. I haven't even really talked about the Hisuian Braviary either. We've talked about that multiple times. I think going back to like UBA season 1, we've talked about multiple times taking that thing. And one of us finally did it. I think for me, that is going to be an underrated pick. It's not a bad Pokemon, man. There's a reason we kept looking at it. Its move pool decent. It's signature move decent. Esper Wing not bad. Yeah, for me that's gonna be the underrated pick. Hisuian Braviary. MVP. I'm gonna go with the Kyogre. I mean, you've talked about taking Kyogre. You've talked about how scary the Kyogre is.
I talked about how scary the Kyogre is. I never said about taking it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that was a difficult choice because I really wanted to go with Palkia.
Yeah.
I really wanted to go with Palkia, but this gave me something that I needed that the Palkia didn't, even though Palkia gave me versatility.
True. Yeah. But I think that Kyogre's gonna be an MVP candidate for sure. It's a scary Pokemon. Underrated, yeah, for sure. Hisuian, MVP, Kyogre. Potential flop, I don't know. Venusaur, I don't know. I don't think you're gonna flop with anyone, really. To be honest, this is a very U team. Last season, you didn't take a crazy a team in terms of like your sort of play style. You kind of took unconventional Pokemon for you, but I think this is very much more your speed with this team. Not talking literally, but I mean like it's more your pace, the way you like to battle. So yeah, give us your thoughts, man. We need to hear from the man himself. Tell us about your team. Tell us everything, all the details.
So, okay, I will tell you every single detail.
What team are you bringing against me?
I'm just sitting here and waiting for you to ask me, so that I can tell you what my master plan is. Okay, so here it is. First, turn 1, I'm gonna go ahead and lead the Golden Go. Okay?
Yes.
I'm just messing. So, what's funny is that I had a list. Okay, I had a list of Pokemon that I originally was going to draft, and my original list, I feel like this current team changed a lot.
Yeah.
From what my original list was. Where is it? So in my original list, I was originally going to draft Palkia, Roaring Moon, Hisuian, Samurott, Incineroar, Kleavor, Gliscor, Comfey, Annihilate, Leafeon, and the Salamence, and then it was going to have the Dolphin on the side as a backup. And as things were going, I'm like, you know what? I'm figuring this out. I think I'm going to go ahead and try this. And I feel that the team that I have currently right now is synergetic.
Yeah.
Despite Kyogre clashing against Photosynthesis, there's synergy there. And I can't wait to show all that off in battle. There is synergy there. I can't wait to show that off in battle. So I'm excited because this is, like you said, this is a team that's more my speed. My MVP, I feel, is going to be that dragon, Roaring Moon.
That's a good pick.
Fast. It's fast. It's strong. I feel like it's going to be my thing. I think that the Pokemon that I might fumble with the most is either going to be Volcarona or the Cheese Man. And underrated, I think, is going to be the bird from a distant past.
Yeah, I fully agree. Screw the Cheese Man.
But I think that Roaring Moon's going to be my ace. I think.
Yeah, I think you're like low-key potential MVP candidate, like an underrated MVP could be your Annihilate for sure. Or the Incineroar. We haven't really talked about it a whole lot. I know you don't want to. Plans.
I only drafted an Incineroar for one reason.
Ooh, scary.
I only drafted it for one reason, and you know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it is.
I
I have no problem in saying what it is. It is to counter one Pokemon on your team.
I know.
You can,
I know exactly.
You can say it's a trauma pick. A defensive trauma pick.
When do you ever get traumatized by it? When did you ever get traumatized by it?
It's not the Pokemon that traumatized me. It's the Pokemon that you won't give up that traumatizes me. Because you've never done it to me. No one has traumatized me with the Pokemon that you have, which we'll get to you later on. It's the fact that I know what it can do that is now in your hands, that I don't trust you with it. So I need a defense.
I know. I was gonna double stack. I was gonna double stack him this season. You knew that. I wanted the Incineroar. I'm not even gonna hide it. But you were like, oh, I was like, okay, you can have it then, because I knew exactly why you were taking it.
Yeah.
Like you said, we'll get to it in a second. You guys will know what Pokemon. It's pretty obvious once you see. But yeah, this is I love this
season
team.
1 playoffs match. You'll see exactly why.
Yeah, go watch one of my latest shorts. It's the draft league short. Go watch that. There's a reason why I take Grimmsnarl every single time. And that's why I also say screw the cheese man.
Why? He didn't do anything wrong.
You remember how I was like, I swear to God, if this cheese man comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Cheese man did nothing wrong. It was a victim. But yeah, I think this is a great team. Very Umberto, very your pace, very much a scary team. We'll see how the Fort Sill Warriors do in their comeback season.
The Fort Sill Warriors. This is not the first time that I've donned this team name. It was meant to be it was meant to replace the Miami Dragonites and be the new winning team. But then season 5 of the EBL decided to have different plans. So it is now a meme team, much like the Florida for Alligators were.
Florida for Alligators, that's a throwback.
Yeah.
The Florida for Alligators won. Okay. They did win. Hang on, let me catch up on chat real quick. Maybe Teacher Field has to move like spikes. Yeah, we allow all that stuff. Baton pass, yeah, all that stuff. A lot of strategy goes into it because obviously we don't have items. So we do a lot of strats. You got any final closing remarks on your team?
No, do you?
It's terrible. I hate it.
Wow. Okay.
All right, let's get to our second to last team, our penultimate team, the Detroit Pyroars. Coach Gamer Views, aka Max. His team consists of a lot of ice types: Mew, Chenpao, Salamence, Abomasnow, Mamoswine, Titan, Frostlass, Ice Cube, Alone Sandslash, and Whimsicott. We're talking about offensive teams. Ice is one of the most offensive typings. It is terrible defensively, but it is a decent, more than decent offensive typing. So this team could be a little scary if Max plays his cards right. It's a team where I feel like, though, you're gonna have to dance around a little bit. Obviously, again, Ice defensively is not great, so he's got a lot of weaknesses to work with. A lot of quad weaknesses to work with as well. Literally, I think this is a glass cannon team. Just as much as he can dish, he cannot take very well. This team will not like a lot of hits. He does get some good utility. Obviously, also this gen did give a buff to ice types with the snow, because that boosts physical defense. So we do gotta kind of take that into account. It's not lacking entirely on bulk. He can be a little bulky, but obviously, like Jacob just said in chat, I think it leans a little more towards glass cannon than anything. But he's got some good utility in there. He's got the Whimsicott in there. Obviously, Abomasnow to set up the snow. He's also got Mew in his back pocket too. I think that was actually a really nice pick for him, because it just helps him do a lot of stuff. Mew can do basically everything, so that helps him set up snow if he wants to. If he can't with the Abomasnow, he can't. He can do a lot of things with the Mew. Aurora Veil. We're also looking at Aurora Veil too. So it's not like he can't be bulky. This team can be bulky. I think, though, someone disrupts that. I don't want to say it's easily disruptible, but it can be pretty easily thrown off track. So he's gonna have to dance around a few things, but I think he can do a lot of work. MVP, I think, is gonna be his Mew. I think it's gonna be big for him. It's gonna do a lot of setup, do a lot of work. Or the Salamence. Last time Max had Salamence, it was actually not bad. He did really well with it, so I could see that as well. Underrated, the Frostlass or Titan. I think Frostlass is good utility. I'm gonna go Titan, actually. I think Titan will be my underrated pick for his team. Titan can be a very good Pokemon. A potential fumble. One of his restricteds, I feel like, maybe Chinpao. We saw it do really well last season. I don't know if Max would be able to carry that into this season, so we'll see what that. What do you think about Max's team?
I think that this is a team that could snowball, no pun intended, out of control fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I think that a Pokemon to watch out for is going to be Titan, Mamo, Mew, and Chenpao.
Yeah.
Whimsicott could provide a lot of utility that this team needs, but it's limited in what it can do, having been a loyal Whimsicott user myself back in the day. I think we have to wait and see what we can do. What he can do with this team.
I agree. I think this will definitely be a wait and see team. I think this is probably the most wait and see team that we have.
Yeah.
Could be great. Like you said, it could spiral out of control, snowball out of control. Or it could flop pretty easily too. I think it's kind of one of those where we just don't know until we get to the start of the season.
Healing Wish doesn't bring back a knocked out Pokemon. That's Revival Blessing.
Yeah, Jacob. But I agree that Mew can do a lot of stuff. Whimsicott knows Tailwind. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, I think it's going to rely a lot on these utility Pokemon. So Mew, Whimsicott, maybe bringing a Bombasnow for the snow and stuff like that. So definitely, I fully agree. This is a wait and see team. We'll see when we get to the start of the season. Any final thoughts on Max's team here?
No.
All right. Let's get to the last
All right,
team.
that's it. That wraps up the whole roundup, guys.
Yep.
We thank you guys for coming out.
See you guys later. No. We got my team. Yay. My team consists of Grimmsnarl, Dragapult, Zamazenta, Cinderace, Meowscarada, Skizor, Clefable, Toxapex, Hatterene, and Darkrai. I continue the trend of taking Pokemon restricted that nobody has ever taken.
He also continues the trend of taking Pokemon I've used.
This is also true. But Grimmsnarl, Dragapult, Cinderace, Clefable, a few.
Scizor, Toxapex.
Oh yeah, you did take Toxapex. That's right. Hey, I think I built a good team, man.
Yeah.
I'll let you go. From me.
So I think this is a fast team. Dragapult virtually outspeeds everything minus a Zacian and a Zamazenta, I feel. If they don't, then they're on par. And the Fluttermane. But what, Dragapult?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, so then it outspeeds everything in the league then. It outspeeds everything in the league. Scizor is a threat. Period. Having only one weakness, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Meowscarada is a menace. Cinderace is a menace but workable. I think the pick here, that I'm pretty sure took everybody by surprise. Not me because I knew, but that took everybody by surprise is the Darkrai.
Yeah.
No one has taken a Darkrai the entire time that in the EUBA's existence. I'm interested to see how you use this Darkrai. Hatterene is your special and your special offense and defensive tank there. Toxapex is bulky. Clefable, that pink bitch no one likes. Zamazenta is an interesting pick for you. Let's see how you use that. And then Grimmsnarl, thief, and everything, stealing my child. Grimmsnarl is the Pokemon that it hasn't done anything to me because no one has done things to me, but Grimmsnarl, because I know what it can do, I had to take the Incineroar to counter the Grimmsnarl.
Yes, that is what we were talking about earlier. Trick Room team, I'll gladly confirm it on camera. I'm not doing Trick Room. This is not a Trick Room team.
That is not a Trick Room team. Not even
close.
Everything is stupid fast.
Yeah, too fast.
Minus the Hatterene and Toxapex and Clefable.
I'd have to work around literally those three Pokemon if I wanted to do a Trick Room team. And they're not bad offensively, but they're not world enders. Yeah, definitely not. I don't care. I'll comfortably confirm that on camera. It is not a Trick Room team. I hate Trick Room.
I hate Trick Room too.
I hate Trick Room, so no. Yeah, this team was built around just having more bulk. Last season, I think I was a little bit more offensive than usual. Obviously, it worked out, but we are on a two-peat. So we'll see if we can make it 3. I don't think so, because I feel like teams are gonna come out swinging this season. We got.
Who do you predict will be champion?
We'll go over that in a second. That was the next thing I was gonna bring up. So this team was built to try and bring more bulk. But with bulk on your side, you can sacrifice your speed for power. Yeah, that's the thing too. You know, it's just a team where I wanted to be able to do different things. You know, if I want to be bulky, I can be bulky. If I want to be fast and offensive, I can be fast and offensive. If I want to have a balance, I can have a balance. That's why I took a lot of the picks I did. You know, the Clefable, Toxapex, Hatterene. I'm only saying it because, I mean, if anybody looks up their stats, you can know this right away. It's not like hidden or anything. They're bulky Pokemon that can do a lot of utility. So that's why I drafted this team this specific ways, because I wanted to be able to kind of do whatever I wanted every single match. If I want to be offensive, like I said, I could be offensive. I could be bulky. I could do a lot of things. I could be annoying if I wanted to. So this would be a fun team. I'm really excited to use the Darkrai. Like I mentioned, every season UBA I've been taking a Pokemon that generally hasn't been getting taken, at least a restricted. I mean, I took a Namorous. Nobody's even touched the genies, really. I took freaking the Namorous. Took Deoxys last season. Now I'm taking Darkrai. Like, these are Pokemon that just don't get taken. So I like trying them out. I think Darkrai will be really fun. I'm annoying Humberto. Humberto, am I annoying you?
No.
Apparently, according to Jacob, I'm annoying you.
Your existence bothers me.
Damn.
I'm kidding.
The soul. I think my MVP, I mean, it's Grimmsnarl. Let's be real. Like, it's gonna be. I feel like I don't rely on it too heavy. Maybe I'm misremembering. It's won me like 2 matches in the last 2 seasons, so I don't think I rely on it that heavy. I've had matches where I don't take it, and I still won. So I pulled a Cinderace. EBL season 1 Cinderace. I
did not rely on the Cinderace.
No, I know, but you made a point to not take it and still win.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm excited to use Darkrai, but I'm also very excited to use the other doggo. I've used Zacian a couple times, or 1 time. But now I'm using the other one, Zamazenta. And the other one, that's so sad. I've not used Zamazenta. Zamazenta, I don't think has been taken by anyone but Pidge, period. In any draft league season we've done. So I'm excited to use it. I'm just excited to use this team, man. I'm excited to use this team. I think a potential flop, probably one of the tanky Pokemon I have. Tox, Hatterene, Clefable. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't use them that well. Or yeah, probably one of those 3. MVP, Grimmsnarl, underrated. I'm gonna say Cinderace or Meowscarada because I've never had them. I never had Pokemon like Cinderace or Meowscarada. I feel like maybe Sneasler was like the closest Pokemon I've had to them, but should be interesting with this team. Like I said, I wanted to do a lot with these 10 picks, and I feel like I achieved that. You got any final thoughts on my team?
No, it's a good team. I like it.
All right, so to wrap up this roundup, we are going to go over basically kind of just general thoughts on the season, how we think everyone's gonna do. So real quick, the week 1 matchups are the only ones we're gonna talk about. I'm not gonna go through the whole schedule today. No, it's gonna be week by week thing. But the week 1 schedule, so this man right here has got the bye week for week 1. We got the Detroit Pyroars versus the Redwood Rillabooms. So Game Reviews versus Mr.Toast. Snowdonian Frosmoths versus the Colchester Celtics. Jakey versus Pidge. And then the LA Inferno versus No Side Nate. Walton Wingulls. Myself versus the Walton Wingulls. No Side Nate. Just with the start of the season, I think things can get going pretty quickly. I feel like Toasty has had Max's number in the UBA. I feel like Carlos has had the 1-up over Max throughout the UBA. So I think that trend will continue. Jakey versus Pidge is, I think, the match to watch. I think that's pretty obvious. That is going to be the match to watch in week 1. I'm going to take Pidge in that one, and I'm going to take myself in the last one. But for this season, overall, I think it's going to be... I think it's going to be me and you. I'm not just saying that because you're here.
For the semis? I mean, for the finals?
Yeah, if it shakes out that way, obviously, with the standings and everything. If it's possible for us to be in the final, I think it'll be us in the final. Would I be surprised if someone upsets us? I won't be surprised. I think there's a lot of... I don't want to say upset because that makes everyone sound,
I was just about
worse.
to say.
But you get what I mean. Like, I mean, I'm on a 2-time. You've won. So we automatically come into the season kind of as favorites. Pidge has won as well, so he's also in there. in that conversation. We call it the Big Three for a reason, because we're the ones who've won so far in the UBA.
I'm Zeus.
Not trying to sound cocky, but like that's just how it is. I'm Hades. Pidge is Poseidon. We've already talked about this. But we also have to bring up the fact that Max has been the back-to-back finals now. He's lost both of them, but he's gone. He just turns up in the playoffs. Both those seasons, the last 2 seasons, his regular season has not been amazing. Just keeping it 100. But he turns up when it matters most, when it comes to the the playoffs. And he's made it to back-to-back finals. So we cannot count Max out. I think his team is very capable of just wiping someone pretty quickly. So he definitely needs to be in that conversation. But like I said, I think anyone is capable of beating anyone this season. There's a lot. I feel like there's a lot more firepower than we've seen in previous seasons. I might be misremembering, but I feel like this is a very offensive season. But I think predictions, I think it's gonna be me and you in the final. As long as we don't gas out. I think it'll be you and me in the final.
I tend to gas out before the season
ends. Yeah.
I'm like, you know what, man?
I'm done.
I don't like battle. I don't want to battle.
What are your overall thoughts on the season teams?
I think it's any one of the big three to go up against each other, honestly.
Yeah.
Because Pidge has a track record of turning things up towards the latter end of the season and then just powering through everybody. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you've won your fair bits of championships, and I've won my fair bits of championships. It's not going to be I would love it if it's you and me, because that's the one matchup that we've yet to see at all.
Yeah.
Because we've seen a you and Pidge.
Yeah.
We've seen a me and Pidge. We've never seen a you and me.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see that. But on the topic of upsets, I would love to see somebody else outside of us three. I would love it if like a Jakey or a Nate just powered through everybody, especially that team that AI drafted for Nate.
I think he's gonna be a dark horse.
Powering through everybody,
mm-hmm.
and kicking ass. And I would like to see him at the very least in the semifinals. It'll be a big step for him.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. Bye, Jacob. I think Nate's gonna be the dark horse this season. The one that's gonna surprise a lot of people. I mean, we kind of saw it in season 2. Like, he was good.
Bye, Jacob.
He was good in season 2. He had a good team and he was good. Like, he did well, a lot better than we've seen him. Obviously, last season he had a crazy gimmick that didn't really allow him to battle, really. But now we get to
He's just trying to have fun.
No, yeah. Obviously, you can have fun. Like, not criticizing. It's just, we didn't really get anything from Nate last season in terms
Fun's
of
not
like.
Allowed, though.
Huh?
Fun's not allowed.
Yeah,
though.
no fun. But I think Nate's gonna be the most underrated coach coming into this season. I think he's gonna come in and do some good work with this team. It's a good team. AI kind of blessed him, so we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, I think he's gonna be the most underrated. But yeah, I agree. I think seeing someone else. Hey, look, everyone makes the playoffs. Okay, everyone makes the playoffs. So the regular season, you can afford to lose and work out your team and figure out and just kind of test and do things. When it matters most, though, you lose and you're done. So it doesn't matter if you're 6-0 heading into the playoffs. If you lose, you are done. So that's why I say Max as being a potential to try and get back into that final, because he's gone to 2 and he's turned up in the playoffs 2 seasons in a row now, where he's just had an okay regular season and just pops up in the playoffs and just beats people and makes it to the final. So I think Max is going to be the big shout as an outsider from the top 3, being a favorite in that sense. But I think Nate is going to be the one to watch for this season. Not to put pressure on you, Nate, if you're watching. But yeah, I agree. I think seeing someone new will be fun. Seeing a new matchup in the championship is going to be the most fun thing, because it's been me and Max last 2 seasons. And then before that, it was a combination of you, me, and Pidge. in the finals. So we've literally only seen 4 people be in the finals. So seeing at least one new person, whoever that may be, will make things really interesting. So yeah. You have any final thoughts on how this season might go, or what you think? No? Okay. Like I said earlier in the stream, week 1 is on July 26th, July 27th, that Saturday and Sunday. Be sure to check out all the people in the description down below. Go subscribe to all of them so you not miss a single match. We got some banger matches coming up. Again, week 1's gonna be, this guy's got a bye week, LionheartPlays. Then we got the Detroit Pyroars game reviews versus the Redwood Rillabooms, Mr.Toast. The Snowdonian Frosmoths, Jakey versus the Colchester Celtics, Pidge. And the LA Inferno versus Truly versus the Walton Wingulls, no side Nate. So we got some banger matchups coming up. Again, check out all the links in the description. Talk to all the subscribe to all the people. Go check out all their good stuff. And yeah, do you got any final thoughts? Wrap up thoughts? No. All right.
We're good.
Again, July 26th, ladies and gentlemen, July 26th, 27th, that weekend is when this season starts. July 26th. Check it out. And yeah, that is gonna be it for this stream. Thank you, good sir, for being here with me and doing this.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Of course, this preseason roundup, July 26th. Again, cannot stress enough. Check out the links in the description. Subscribe to all these wonderful people, and follow and subscribe and stuff, sir. It's all greatly appreciated. And of course, be sure to share social, friends, family, everyone. Let's people all in the Hermit and LionheartPlays where it's at. See you guys in the next one.